Hey everybody, welcome to week 10. Once again, I am broadcasting from my basement, but something's different around here. I'm not sure what though. Okay, whatever. We're all resilient and we will all get through this. How you doing? I've been thinking about you all a lot lately and, kind of worrying a little bit because I'm a dad and that's what we do. Your other profs are doing that too, even if they don't say so. Sometimes it's hard for people, even us old poops, to communicate our feelings and concerns. Well, I've got no problem with that. Blah! All right. And thank you all for attending the virtual happy hour on Friday, if you did. I'm going to be doing these every Wednesday and Friday from, I guess, 3:30 to 4 in the WebEx room. I'll post a link to that on Blackboard, and it'll be permanent on the announcements page. And on that same WebEx room, I will also be holding my office hours via WebEx on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh, starting this Thursday. All right, so we are officially shelter in place. Okay, so in this class today, for week 10, class 1, we are going to continue to explore the external world. And we're going to do that through maps and cartography. But this time, we are really going to power up by using Geographic Information Systems applications. We call that GIS. So my department offers a major in this, and we have a 100% job placement track record for our graduates, no joke. These are almost exclusively permanent positions in government and industry, and today's episode is sponsored by the Department of Geography at Central Michigan University. How do you like that? Okay, so the work we did last week on map chart was sort of GIS powered. And today we're going to use the real thing, and it's called ArcGIS. This assignment will be you exploring the software and creating a map with what we call layers on it and submitting a link to your work to me. I'm going to talk you through how to do this in the next segment. There are a lot of steps, so follow along with me, okay? And sorry, but this you are not really going to be able to do this one on your phone. All right. Okay. So, let us set a target completion date for this sometimes by Sunday, okay? We'll see what we can do with that, all right? So, let's switch the scene here and get on the old computer. All right, here we go. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to your browser here, and you're going to type in arcgis.com. And you're going to go here. And you don't have a sign-in yet, but you're going to create one. So you get to this, and you're going to click on Create an Account. And you do that. We're going to approve the cookies. And we are going to get a ArcGIS public account. New window, sign in. And you're not going to type what I'm typing. You are going to type your name. And just use your global ID, your CMU email. I'm going to use the one I created for this class. Okay. And then we're going to do that. So I'm going to accept the terms of use. And let's pause while I pull up my email. Okay, here we are. You will get an email for your ArcGIS public account. There's a link. Click on the link. Okay. So that's done. What do we do? Well, we're going to click on Map. So you click on Map. And we get this. What is going on here? Okay. What you are looking at is a base map, and it covers the whole world. You can zoom in and out, and we're going to stay focused on the US. And I'm going to make this window bigger. Right, here we are. Okay. So let's play around with a couple of different base maps. Do this with me. So we click on here where it says base map. and you can get space or satellite imagery. You can do some kind of hybrid. Oh, look at that. We get our states. You can do street map. We can do a topographic map and see how it's all crinkly out here where the mountains are. Here's one that gets used a lot. This is the dark gray canvas. I personally like the light gray canvas, so let's start with that. All right. So we have this basic map here, and what are we going to do with it? Well, we want to use it to show stuff. We want to lay data on top of it. We want to create a layer. So let's do that. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Add, and we're going to search for layers. And see where it says My Content, we're going to change that to ArcGIS Online. And we search. Gosh, we can search for all kinds of stuff. Let's try this. Let's try US population. All right. So we get a lot of stuff here. But let's try this one. All right, I click on that, and this thing comes up in a little description. This layer shows population density in the United States of 2018 in persons per square mile in a multi-scale map by country, state, city. Well, okay, let's add it. Okay, so now we've added it, and it didn't like that. All right, heck with that. Sometimes this happens. So we're just going to look around for stuff. Here's one, USA population density. And so what I did is I just scrolled down. All right. What does it say? 2012, huh? Well, all right. But updated on May 2018. Okay, fine, let's add it to the map. Oh, look at that. Okay, so what we basically have here is a population density map. So take a look over here. All right, there's different colors. You probably can guess California's populated. Let's zoom into southeast Michigan here. Or just Michigan. All right. Look at that. It gets a little more crowded or detailed. So I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. So I'm going to go to Details, and I'm going to go to Content. So what I want to do is I want to click on Legend here. Oh, okay. What do we got? So areas that are densest are darkest in color. 100,000 people per square mile. That's pretty crowded. Well, let's go into southeast Michigan here in detail here. Let's take a look. All right. So here is a scale bar down here. 3 kilometers, about 1.5 miles. All right. So look at neighborhoods in areas of the city where population is pretty dense. We'll get in a little further, and more detail shows up. Okay, so it looks like this symbol here, this medium orange, 1,000 to 10,000 people per square mile here. Okay, here's a darker color, and it looks like it might be 10,000 to 25,000 people per square mile. And then this one is pretty dark. Okay, so I guess the question is it this one or is it this one? And I think it's 25,000 to 100,000 people. Those of you who know Southeast Michigan probably have some commentary on that. But let's zoom back out and let's go to a place that's really populated. Let's go down to New York City. All right. Wow, look at this. Okay, just to give you a sense of how populated New York City is, we are clearly looking at an area that has 100,000 people or more per square mile. Man, that's densely populated. And look over here. Nobody lives at the airport. So, yeah, it's not colored in. So, you can do all kinds of interesting things with this. For one thing, well, here's what we can do. Let's go back to details. Actually, let's go back to content here. So I clicked on these three little dots here and this menu came up. So one of the things I can do here is I can set the transparency. I can make this so that it's easier to see. Now, why would I do that? Well, when we start adding other layers, some layers might block other layers, and so we want to change the color. All right, let's go look for some more things. But I want to zoom back out. All right, well, let's search for, I'm going to search for random stuff. I'm going to search for McDonald's locations. Okay. Let's add that to the map. All right. That's interesting. Well, let's see here. I want to go back to details. Oh, see, look at what's different here. Now there's all these little symbols. What does this mean? Well, let's start with these little shapes here. So this is what's called a heat map, which means that the more there is of something, the warmer the colors are going to be. Now, if you don't see color, this might look just like it's darker. All right, so let's see what happens when we mess around with the transparency here. Let's take it by about like that. Okay, what are these other things I'm going to do? I don't know. I'm just going to fiddle around with that. Oh, by the way, we can also change the symbols. If we don't like the colors that they're giving us, we can actually change them. Now we have this. All right. Let's approve that. And we'll make it a little like that. Okay. What do we got here? Oh, hey, check it out. We have two options here. We have a heat map and we have a location map. So we can choose to show both. All right. So what you're seeing here is McDonald's restaurant locations sitting on top of a population density map. So I wanted to look at the distribution of McDonald's, and I found that, not a surprise, there are more McDonald's where there are more people. So this is an example of a pattern that is pretty much dependent upon population. And if we look here in Chicago, well, we can get really detailed on this. Now the maps get a little harder to see, so we can change the transparency here. Okay. We can get even further in. So there seems to be a real big cluster of McDonald's here. All right. Now, they're not clustered in the most heavily populated areas. Why is that? Well, that's probably because there's room for houses and apartments, but not room for retail. So if you want to go to a McDonald's, you have to walk to where there's room for one. All right. So now let's get interesting here. So this is what I want to do. I want to turn off my population map. So I uncheck it. There. Now all I have are locations of McDonald's. So now I want to try to figure out if there are relationships between things. So what I'm going to do, I don't know what I'm going to look for. I think I'm just going to, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to look to see, okay. So here what we have is U.S. heart disease hospitalization rates, U.S. heart disease mortality rates, prevalence of adult heart disease. Okay, hang on a second here. This is a map of the U.S. We don't know what the heck this is. What is it? Okay, data taken from California Health Interview Survey. So this is somewhere in California. This is either a city or a county or just some kind of region. Well, I want to look at the U.S. Oh, look, heart disease in adults in Colorado. Heart disease mortality rate. You know what? What the heck? I'm just going to put this in. Let's see if it works. Okay, it's in. How come I don't see it? Well, let's zoom in. I still don't see it because it's not checked. Oh, look at that. Okay. It covers up my dots kind of a bit, so let's see if I can make it, whoops, if I can make it a little more transparent. Yeah, okay. All right, let's zoom in. I need a legend, though. And here's the thing where you show legend. Okay, great. Let's zoom in a little more. What can we figure out from this? So one of the things I was thinking is that where there are more people, there ought to be more people with getting heart disease, right? The more people there are, the more people with heart disease there are. But, this is interesting. Look at this. Here in this area, the darkest color on the map, anywhere between, about 5 and about 12% of adults are diagnosed with coronary heart disease. Here. Now that's interesting. Denver has the most people in it. Denver has the lowest amount of heart disease. 0.6% to 2% about of adults have heart disease in Denver. And what else you notice is that the Denver area has the most McDonald's in the entire state. Now, what am I getting at? I'm trying to use this map to see if there is a relationship to the density of McDonald's restaurants and the amount of heart disease, and I'm not seeing it. So let's try, though, what if we did it like this? Now we have a heat map. I'm still not seeing a relationship between McDonald's and heart disease. So let's go back to this. But what if I got rid of McDonald's and I did population density? Oh, they're the same colors. All right, let's see if we can't fix that. Okay, heart disease. We have, let's try a different kind of map here. Oh. But let's, well, you know what? Let's play around with this. What do we got? Show different categories, such as, no, I don't want that. Okay. I don't want that. I like this. Let's see if I can change the symbol. I can't really change the symbol. It's okay, I don't need to. All right. Look at where the highest rates of heart disease are. Okay. So Denver's the most populated city. Several million people. A few million people. And it has these circles, well, what is this telling us? Oh, I can click on the circles, by the way. All right, Douglas County, 2.48%. And here's some statistical information. So we got this by county. All right, we have Weld County here, 3.27% of adults with coronary disease. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Let's go to Broomfield County, 1.5%. And now we got Denver County, 2%. Aurora County, 2.5%. Arapahoe County, 2.5%. Oh, this is pretty big. Wow, 11.25% in Custer County. And Custer County's pretty rural. What about this county? Bent County. Wow, almost 12%. Okay. So let's put McDonald's back on the map here. Is it really true that this county only has one McDonald's location? Why, yes, it is. So here's what I'm seeing. I am not seeing a relationship between McDonald's locations and heart disease. I'm not seeing a positive relationship. And what I mean by that is I'm not seeing that the more McDonald's there are, the more heart disease there is. So I cannot say, you know, McDonald's causes heart disease. That's kind of the point of what I was doing here. What it does look like to me, though, is that there is a relationship between population density and heart disease. Meaning, the more people, the fewer cases of heart disease. That would be an inverse relationship. More people, less heart disease. Now, why is that? There might be a couple of reasons for that. Number one, it could be that people in rural settings don't have as healthy a lifestyle, meaning they don't have as much access to nutritious food. We know that's true. In fact, let's add a layer here. We know that people in rural settings don't have the same access to quality food, you know, fresh fruits and vegetables and things like that. They live in food deserts. I'm going to pause here while I scroll. Oh, USA supermarket access. All right. If you live more than 2 miles away from a supermarket, you are considered to live in a food desert. Most of Michigan lives in a food desert. Isn't that interesting? Okay, now this is yellow. Oh my. We need to see a legend here. I'm going to turn off McDonald's here. And I'm going to turn off population density for a little bit here. Look at this. Here we go. USA supermarket access. Supermarkets within a 1-mile walk. Okay, people in poverty with low access, this is what the red dots are, 30 or more people. So what that means is, in this area here, let's zoom in. Okay. So there's green dots and red dots. So it says low access and it says high access. Well, first let's look at this. Supermarkets within a 1-mile walk. Okay, if the dark green here means that 11 or more supermarkets are within a 1-mile walk. Most of the colors are here and here, and there's a lot here, but not what we're looking at. All right, now we have supermarkets within a 10-minute drive, 2 or more. or whatever. Okay, so lots of light yellow here. Now let's look at the dots. What does this mean? Okay, we have red dots out here, and then we have green dots here. Okay, so people in poverty with low access to what? Low access to supermarkets, all right? The bigger the dot, the more people. So if you look at this little teeny tiny dot here, let's zoom in on this area. Oh, sometimes if you zoom in too much, you lose the layer because it's not that detailed. All right, so get back to my dots here. The smallest dots mean that this is an area where there's about anywhere between 1 and 4 people who live in poverty who don't have easy access to supermarkets. All right, go over here. Get rid of that, sorry. Go over here, look at this dot here. It's bigger. That looks like anywhere between 100 and 1,500 people. And I'm trying to click on this, but it gives me the heart disease. So I'm going to go back. Whoops, I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to go back to content. I'm going to take off heart disease for a minute here. Now, okay, nothing happens when I click on the dot. That's fine. We're going to put heart disease back on. Okay. What does the S mean again? All right, here's what the S means again. Supermarkets and included analysis. Here we go. Okay, so let's zoom out. We've been looking at Denver. Denver has a lot of areas where there are supermarkets within a 1-mile walk. So what this means is, here's a supermarket. This dark green square here, there must be 3 of them, 3 to 10 of them. All right, and look, here's our heart attack information here. Low rate. Let's zoom out because we're going to find something interesting here. Look at this. Which counties had the biggest rates? Okay. Bent County. All right. How many supermarkets we got here? Look at that. Good grief. This entire county is a food desert. How can there be no supermarkets in an entire county? Well, you might know this, and that is the fact that where are these people getting their food? They're getting their food from places like Dollar General and Family Dollar and stuff like that. Dollar stores sell a hell of a lot of groceries because there's a lot of them in rural settings, and they don't stock produce generally. So that's why we have maybe a 12% heart disease rate among the adult population here. Okay. These are the kinds of things that GIS can be used for. We are looking for patterns, and we're trying to figure out relationships. Now we go to Michigan. All right. Oh, what the heck? Let's go to Mount Pleasant. Okay. How far down are we getting here? Huh. Okay. Huh. What do we got here? Well, I bet this is Meyer. I bet this is Rick's. This is Kroger. Even though Kroger is gone now, it's still on this layer, and I don't know what that is. Well, it would help if I knew where I was. Oh, okay. We lost the map, but all right, that was Kroger. What are you? Mission Street, Broomfield. Oh. How old is this layer? There used to be a grocery store there like 10 years ago. I bet that one's Rick's. High Street, yeah. And so this has to be Meyer. Okay, those are our supermarkets. So if you live on Mission or around here, you are within a mile walk. Are you within a mile walk? To at least 2 supermarkets. Okay. Now, if you live on campus, where is campus? All right, well, let's see. Preston Street, Watson, Washington Street is here. And so where are our dorms? And where are those campus apartments? All around in here. So, oh, you live within a 10-minute drive of 2 or more supermarkets, but you are not in the green zone for the most part. How interesting. Okay, so let's look at these dots. All right, each one of these big dots, anywhere between 101 and almost 1,500 people living in poverty with low access. Here are a bunch of dots, people living in poverty with high access. Yeah, they can get to the supermarket. Okay, and the size of the dot corresponds. Notice that these dots follow the street pattern of Mount Pleasant. Okay, so here's where all the frat houses and student housing are, and there's a high poverty level there. But you're in access to a supermarket. Really interesting. But now let's go somewhere really rural. I'm going to take us to Missaukee County. Missaukee County, there's some beautiful country out there. Lake City's nice, I like it. Lake Township, all right, here we are. What do we got? All right, here's Lake City. This gives you an idea. There's 1 supermarket. Let's go back to content and let's put in our McDonald's locations. Oh, there's 1. All right. And we still got our heart disease information here. Oh, but that's Colorado. Hold on, I'm going to search for that is something a little more detailed than I want to get into. All right, no joy. That's fine. Whatever. Oh yeah, I put the population back up. And here we are back in Missaukee County. Can we see the legend? Oh yeah, so let's see the legend here. Okay, Missaukee County, 100 people or less per square mile. Very lightly populated. I'm proud of my work here, and I want to save it. What do I do? All right, I'm going to go to Save, and I'm going to click Save As. Title, I'm going to say FEIG. Tags. You have to add tags. If you don't do so, it gets you. Okay, I'm going to do food deserts. It said my tag didn't exist, but now it does. And I'm going to say McDonald's. And I'm going to add, what did I add? Heart attacks. I know the layer wasn't called heart attacks, but that's what I got. Save in folder, CMU Geo 105. That's mine. Okay, FEG, description of the map. Yeah, what am I going to say here? Relationships between population density. I gotta spell right. Density. McDonald's. I'm gonna go back and say McDonald's locations. And I'm gonna say population density. And heart disease in adults. Okay. And I'm saving map to my content. So, now I want to share. Okay. So what do I want to do? Choose who can view this map. All right. I want everyone to be able to see it. And I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to copy. And what am I going to do with this link? I am going to I'm going to put it in a Word document. I'm going to paste it there. Okay. All right. So what I really have to do is I have to make sure this is selected. If you don't select this, I won't be able to see it. And I want to be able to see it. So now I'm going to click Done. All right. So I can get out of this now. And now, all right, I have to say something about this. Here's what I found out. I'm going to just type this out. I didn't actually know what I was looking for. I just picked something to look at. I started with population because it turns out that a lot of things that you can map are because of how many people live in a place. But the heart disease thing was interesting. So here is your assignment. You were going to do what I did. But you're going to pick a different thing. And I don't know what that thing is. It could be something you're interested in. It could be something that you've found just by randomly searching for stuff. The goal of this activity is for you to explore this software and the data that are available. I don't know what you're going to come up with. I'm excited to see it. However, I am going to put one limitation on this. When I've done this in the past, at least half of the students pick a layer that has something to do with marijuana. Now, I don't really care about that. I will say this, though, is that after about 40 or 50 of these, they get real tedious to grade. And I've just decided I don't want to hear about marijuana this semester, okay? So when you are out hunting for layers, don't give me the density of dispensaries with the number of car accidents, okay? Trying to figure out if high people getting wrecks. It turns out that both of those things are strictly related to population, okay? And after about, like I said, after about 40 of these, I get tired of grading them. So, no pot. Okay? So, have fun with this, all right? Okay, now, how do we submit this? Okay, well, I've got a Word document here. And I'm going to save it. And I'm going to save it as this. And I want you to do the same thing. I want you to do feg_GIS or feg-GIS. But not feg, your last name, okay? Your last name's not feg. I want you to please email this document to cmugeo105@gmail.com. Send it there. Now, if you mess up and you forget and you send it to my CMish, that's fine. But send it to the Gmail address, please. That's where I would like to see it. All right, that's it. Once again, we are shooting for a target date of Sunday the 29th sometime, okay? Look, I'm not going to be real strict about that, okay? Just keep stuff from piling on your desk, okay? And yes, I am getting caught up on my grading. So remember, this is the first class of this week, and new content will drop around Thursday, okay? All right. I gotta get out of here. I've been spending too much time in the basement, and I need some sunlight. Oh, and it's night, but I don't care. I'm going, man. I'm out of here. See ya.